Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast, the Project Investigation Collaboration, brought to you by the Veritas Project. And as always, we are here with our gracious host and founder of the Veritas Project, the head man himself, Robert Wiki Bob Curtis.
Yeah.
And I'm lead investigator Todd Boyer, and welcome to the podcast, everybody.
Yeah, welcome in.
Well, local news, today was Viking Festival.
Yeah.
So I went and got dressed up and got dehydrated out in the heat of the Viking Festival.
Yeah.
So...
Well, and local news for me, I have something exciting to tell everyone. I haven't even told Todd yet.
Oh, yeah?
But I got a blue check mark on Instagram.
What?
Yeah. So we're monetized. Wow. We're monetized on Instagram now.
That is awesome. That is great.
How about that? Yep. So
that is great.
Instagram, Facebook, and Threads. We're monetized.
We're blue check marks.
All three of those.
That is insane. That is super news.
Isn't that fun?
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Crazy, dude.
And in keeping with that, we've got some haters in our comments, and I wanted to talk about something. It's a concept, so you have to follow with me. But you know that they put crabs, right? Sea crabs, right? Saltwater crabs. Into big bins. They're like probably 50-gallon bins, right? And you don't have to put a lid on the bin with the crabs in it. Because if one crab climbs up to the edge, the other crabs will pull that crab down. And that analogy is exactly what the paranormal industry is, right? You don't have to worry about the glass ceiling in the paranormal business. Because the other channels will pull you away from it as soon as you
start to climb out, they will pull you down. And I even lightly got into it with somebody that made a comment because I don't know, I didn't even remember if you misspoke or if I misspoke or something on one of the podcasts and it came out on one of the shorts, and somebody said something about it, and I said, people make mistakes. It happens.
Right.
And he goes, well, I guess not everybody should have a podcast. And I said, where's your podcast?
Yeah, right.
And then he said something else, and I said, you don't have to watch. He's like, you don't have to reply. And I'm like...
Go away.
I'm like, you don't have to be rude. And he just his reply to that was no.
Right.
Battle of wits with an unarmed opponent.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Yeah. It's like an old gunny. When I first came in, there were still people around from the Vietnam War, and this guy was grizzled, and he was just riding out his last second of retirement. Right. And he used to tell me that arguing with an idiot is like wrestling with a pig. You both get dirty, and the pig likes it. And that stuck in my 19-year-old brain forever. That words of wisdom from that grizzled old war veteran, like it just every time I think of it, I'm like, you know what? You're fine. You're fine.
Then I stopped. After that, I was like, I'm done. Right. So, other local news. We have the new postcards already.
Yeah.
They are from one of our best, most beloved, episodes, the dragons.
Yeah.
There be dragons.
That was lightning in the bottle because I had no idea that the live action How to Train Your Dragon came out. And we always talked about dragons, so we thought we'd do a dragon episode. Well, that Monday, when that video came out, the How to Train Your Dragon trailer dropped, and our video...
Well, not to mention there's a story with the YouTube creators that I'll let you tell. Yeah,
when I went to one of the content creator meetings, and what they do is when you go in there, they bring up your thumbnail, and then they critique your thumbnail. It's like a way to, to kind of insult people, like you're not spending enough time. So I got in the little thing, and I'm just sitting there, at my desk at work, just minding my own business, and I hear everybody in there start laughing, and I'm like, what is this? What are we laughing about? And they're like, whose thumbnail is this? And they put it up, and it was ours. And they were all dying laughing. They're like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
One dude said, I would watch it. I don't care what this is. Yeah. I would watch it just for the thumbnail.
Right. If I saw this when I'm scrolling by, like, I'm watching that video because it's so silly that I have to see it. It's got we're riding Falcor in the clouds, escaping the village, and smog from the desolation of smog is destroying a village in the background.
Oh yeah, it is so funny. But we have some new subscribers to the I want to say Discord, but I know that's wrong. It's the
Patreon.
So we got some new Patreon.
We got a new person. That's why our stack of cards is getting bigger.
Yay! That means we're going somewhere.
Right.
So, in other local news, kind of big news for Bob and I, 2 years ago, on my 50th birthday, I had a party. And, a lot of you guys have heard this story before if you've been around for a while.
Yeah.
Bob and I used to do, it was a internet radio show.
Right.
With another individual at the paranormal group that we were with. And I had my 50th birthday party 2 years ago, and Bob said, hey, let's do a podcast. I want to get the band back together. And I said, well, let's do this. So this was August 19th. And literally 2 weeks later, I called Bob. I said, hey, if we're going to do this, let's flip and do this.
Right.
So next thing you know, there's two dudes sitting at a desk in Bob's basement with a couple of microphones, no camera, just two dudes talking about aliens in Peru.
Right. One of the most wild stories that I had ever heard. And the further I went down the rabbit hole of researching this, the weirder it got. And initially, when this first happened and it was in the news, CNN, Fox News, everybody was covering it. But they didn't realize yet what they were covering.
Yep.
So once it came out that what this news was about, then it disappeared from the lexicon instantly.
They got rid of it quick.
Yeah.
They did not want to put this out there that there was alien firefights in the freaking mountains in Peru.
Right.
And we will get into that and cover that.
Oh yeah.
Now, the funny thing is that Bob heard about it while he was on vacation.
Yeah.
And told me, this is what I want to cover on our first podcast.
Right.
And I said, okay, let's do it. So we did our research and we put it out there. And it didn't even really hit mainstream media until the following summer.
Right.
So we were literally 10 months ahead on this story. And if you guys follow us, you guys have been following us for year and a half, whatever, even if you've been following us from the beginning, you will know that we are always ahead of the game.
Yeah.
We are always ahead of the game.
That's what I say about, because we live on the fringe of science. We're on the edge. So when something falls on our radar and we're like, hey, look at this, real scientists, Harvard or NASA scientists, they're still in the middle. You know what I mean? So it takes a long time for them to catch up to where we're at. We're in crazy town.
Well, and then we're not afraid to, if we do our research on it and we come back with something bad, we're not afraid to say, hey, that thing we talked about?
Yeah.
We'll make the correction. We're not afraid to say that, hey, there's new stuff going on, which now there was a whole bunch of new stuff going on with 3-Eye Atlas, and then with the government shutdown, they're not tracking it anymore.
No. I did see a feed this morning, though, of someone who got into the day-to-day, time-lapse photos from the Mars rover, and it was pointed in that section of the sky.
Nice.
So you could see it go by, and it looked just as crazy as we said it does. It's a cigar-shaped thing, and it shot through the sky. So NASA was looking at it.
Right.
Because otherwise the time-lapse wouldn't have been pointed in that direction to see it. So So that was, he couldn't get the high-res photos, and he couldn't get the actual film photo of it, but he did stitch together the time-lapse of it, and you could see it go through the view of the...
That's cool.
Perseverance or whatever that rover is.
Yeah, with the shutdown right now,
it'll be
nobody's
a couple
tracking
weeks
it
before we... They're still working, you know how it is, but they're not going to put it out.
No. So, let's go back to this aliens in Peru. So basically this was mid-23, like we said, mid-23. Villagers in Alto, Nanay, Peru, reported attacks by 7-foot-tall hooded beings dubbed, how do you say it, Bob?
Helicotis.
Helicotis.
Face
Face peelers.
Yeah.
Now, The reason this came up on our radar is, so, like I said, somebody told Bob about it, and then we looked into it. And back then, the literally, give your best description of the mayor.
Oh, he looks like a 35-year-old, just nondescript South American guy. He's got soccer jersey,
yep.
and some shorts and some flip-flops on, and he's got a single shotgun that has a screw for a trigger. He's the mayor.
He's the mayor. So they even said they point blank blasted one of these
He
aliens.
shot on the video. I saw him shoot it.
And it just turned left.
Yeah.
Nothing happened to it, it just turned left.
Yeah.
But what happened was, all these people in this town were catching these videos, and he actually put out on the internet, hey, we need help.
Right.
These aliens are coming and taking our people, and they're invading our town and this and that. And he was making a cry for help over the internet.
Yeah, to appeal to anybody that had any kind of influence above him. Because they found a dude down by the river with his entire face pulled off like a Halloween mask. And the bone of his face was white.
Yeah.
Bleached white.
So.
And they were like, somebody has to help us. I mean, this is crazy. This dude's got no face. This thing, the alien had some sort of device on its hand that grabbed a hold of this woman's neck and was locked around her neck, into the skin. Mm-hmm. And she managed to get away from it. But I mean, he was desperate. He's like, man, somebody's got to help us. To happen, because we, me and Dave got these breech barrel shotguns. Right. And these things are like space aliens. We don't stand a chance against these people.
So they were being described as having long heads, yellowish eyes, and floating or hovering above the ground, wearing dark hoods, masks, and being impervious to bullets.
Right.
And one reported incident involved a 15-year-old girl who was injured and her neck was cut, Bob just said, and hospitalized. Now, the term face peelers, is a mythological creature that's kind of in that territory, right? It's one of their ancestral things that live in the mountains.
Yeah,
right?
It's a folktale from that region.
So that's where they got this whole thing. Now, the community organized patrols, and they, like I said, they were trying to get the military or the police or anybody to come in really and help them out. They basically these things were attacking them every night.
Yeah.
So
the next town over has a legit police station, a police department, and they have 4-wheel drives and actual uniforms and guns and everything. And they said, well, we can spare a couple dudes to come with you one night and see what's going on, to make a legit report to the Peruvian government, and say, hey, we need an appeal for you. So they sent actual uniformed police officers from the next big town over, and they bugged out.
Yeah, they're like, no thank you, we're out of here, and they bounced. And the crazy thing is once the major government got in, they were like, oh, these are claim jumpers. Now we're talking about aliens that were floating a foot off the ground, 2 feet, 3 feet off the ground, rather than walking. And then when people were actually taking shots at them, they would go whoop, to the tops of the trees and disappear off.
And they said, the outfits they were wearing looked exactly like the Green Goblin from the Spider-Man movie. Only instead of green, it was black, right? And it had lenses over the eyes instead of decorative Green Goblin stuff. But that's what it was segmented armor plates over a wetsuit type thing, and there was no jetpack. They said that they had 2 discs that they stood on, and it made no sound whatsoever.
None.
And they didn't have any weapons. They had a thing on their chest that had a blue light on it, and when you shot at them, that blue light would stop the bullet before it hit them.
Which also falls back to the story of, what's his name?
The Dulce base.
The Dulce base.
Right.
Same description of aliens.
Exactly
underground dwelling aliens, pack on their chests. So, and they believe in Peru that folklore is believed that these aliens live underground.
Yeah, they live in the hollow earth.
And if you don't know the Dulce base story, imagine the hive from what the hell's the name of the movie?
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil. If you guys know anything about that, basically the base is up top. And what you see up top isn't shit. They dig layer down until they broke into a cave.
Right.
Bottom line, they had a battle with these aliens down there. Same description as these aliens in Peru. And this took place, how long ago was that? Dulce base? It was the 80s.
Yeah.
So what they ended up doing at Dulce base is they actually filled the cave level full of concrete and the level above it.
Right.
Just dumped concrete.
Filled it solid.
Until it didn't take any more concrete.
Right.
And that was the end of it.
Yep.
Right? And they lost a whole fire team of like Delta guys down there. And then like one engineer made it out because one of the Delta guys basically chucked him into the elevator.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and
so...
He was jacked up.
He was messed up.
Fingers burned
so
off.
So basically the same kind of alien.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's exact same description. And the Las Vegas aliens that showed up in that dude's backyard were all at the same
time as the Peru stuff was going on.
And the same description of the aliens.
So
7 foot tall, black armor, like impervious to bullets, can leap obscene dimensions into the air. But the Las Vegas ones had a cloaking device, and we didn't hear about that until the police reports started coming back from
which was like 2 or 3 weeks later.
Because the villagers had never even heard of anything like that.
Right.
So they didn't know to be looking for it. So once the police showed up, they're like, "Do you not see that dude in a tree? He looks just like the Predator." And the villagers are like, "What's a predator?"
Right.
Like, we don't have. What is this newfangled VHS you're talking about? Right.
So the funny thing is, when the government finally did step in, they said, "Oh, these are claim jumpers." Now, when we first did this podcast back 2 years ago, we looked up the price of a jetpack.
Yeah.
The low-end jetpacks with literally 15 to 20 seconds of flight time were almost $250,000.
Yeah.
And they were screaming loud. They usually ran off, it was a jet engine that ran off of kerosene and just unbelievably loud and $250,000. So they're saying they were claim jumpers coming in to steal the gold.
Right, from this mine.
In
the mountains.
And yeah.
The locals were like, that mine was mined out in the 1940s. Like it was dry in the 1940s. So nobody's claiming, nobody's stealing gold out of a played out mine, 70, 80 years later. And let alone to truck, a $250,000 jetpack into the wilderness.
Or just to have a $250,000 jetpack
just to harass
steal some
villagers. Like,
right?
It doesn't make any, it's all so foolish that you listen to it and you're like, do you hear yourself talk? Like,
right. And some of the villagers claim to have even encountered these aliens decades back, not just in 2023.
Yeah.
So, and witness descriptions are, like I said, the vivid glowing eyes, the floating.
Yeah.
Some interpret the phenomenon via older Andean folk beliefs or mythical creatures. But that's the thing. They were probably around, they've been around so long underground that they became part of the folklore of the area.
Right.
So, and I mean, it was just, it literally, and our government, of course, got involved.
Right.
And then...
Well, when the Peruvian government, they sent the Peruvian Navy in there, and the president of Peru was like, "Hey, lock this down so that we can get," because it's so far upriver to where this village is. So he sent their Coast Guard, like Navy people in there, and he's like, "I want you to lock this down."
And that's the way they had to do it because it was so far upriver.
Yeah.
That was the best way they can get in, was use the Navy guys to track. It was like, what was it, like a day and a half or something they had to travel up the river.
And that's the fastest
into
way
the
to
jungle.
get there.
That was the fastest way to get
by
there.
boat, yeah. So the Navy, the legit Peruvian Navy went in there, and these aliens started, acting up. So these guys have fully automatic crew-served weapons, night vision, everything, and they threw down with these aliens. And in one of the clips, as a person who is a military person, I know what it sounds like.
What a firefight sounds like.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what I heard in that video, because it was two guys from broadcasting,
Right.
and they were recording a thing by the river, and he turns the camera up in the mountains, and you could hear like da 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 boom boom da 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 da, like
You hear all the cracks and everything, and then you hear,
and
you hear like,
wow, wow,
Yeah,
and like
just-
big blue lights light up the sky,
It
and you're
was
like, what is
wild.
going on? And there's no lights
Yeah.
in this village at all. Like once the sun goes down, it's dark there.
Yeah.
And whatever these weapons were lighting up the whole ridge like it was a lightning bolt, or like a flash, like a Hollywood lightning machine. Is what it looked like.
Right. And of course, then they started debunking,
Right.
saying that didn't happen. Some articles expressed caution about sensationalization,
Yeah.
mass hysteria, and all that, lack of physical artifacts. So it kind of all went down that way as a big cover up with multiple governments involved. And you guys know how much we trust the government around
Right.
here. So
My favorite one of this is CNN went down there and they were interviewing one of the kids who was actually struck by one of the aliens, and he had bruising and stuff from an alien backhanding him out of the way, and the guy from CNN has a picture on his phone of someone riding one of these $750,000 jetpacks, and the kid's like, "What is that?" And he's like, "This is a guy on a jetpack, right? This is what you saw." And he's like, "No, I'm not telling. I told you that's not what it is." And he's like, No. This is what you saw, right?" And
Yeah.
the kid, you can see the kid in the video go, "No." And he turns to the camera and goes, "See, it was a guy on a jetpack just like this." That's what the kid said.
and the kid's like,
And the kid's like, "No, it was. I didn't say that at all. I don't speak English, but I know that was not the guy.
Right.
This is like a big thing. These aliens are using little plates. He called it. It looks like a little dish that they're hovering on, and it makes no sound."
So then, on top of that, about 10 months later, a major UFO paranormal investigator went down, and Bob, I didn't get through the whole documentary because it was a 3-hour documentary. It
Yeah.
was long.
Yeah,
I watched it for a while. You watched the whole
I watched
thing.
the whole thing. Yeah,
So basically, literally, we're 10 months ahead at this point. So some major guy goes down there and he goes
he's
down.
not even a major guy. He's
Well,
like one of us.
yeah.
Timothy
He went-
Alberino is who it was.
So he went down there, and what did he say, Bob?
He actually talked to the people because he speaks. He when he was in the military, he was stationed in South America, so he knows how to speak this Peruvian dialect. And he was actually talking to him, and he said the same thing that we said in our initial broadcast. This was some sort of alien thing that they'd never seen before. These people were over 7 feet tall, and they could jump onto the roof of a house, just pop. Just like you're stepping up on a curb, they could do that to a house. And he said they would jump in the tree, and then their outfit would turn into the camouflage of the tree, just like the Predator, and it looked exactly like the Predator from the old Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. It would sit in a tree, and then there would be like chrome, like a chrome dude standing in front of a mirror. That's what it looked like. It was whatever was behind it was on it.
Yep.
And he was like, that's crazy. So he interviewed the girl that the thing
Went around her neck.
latched onto her neck, and you could see that she had stitches from where she pulled herself away from it, and it latched onto her skin. And he interviewed every single person there, and then actually went with them and taught them squad tactics, and was like, "Hey, because we got to leave at some point, so here's how you can better use that gun. Let me see that thing." And he's cleaned here, helped them update their weapons a little bit, and taught them some better patrol, tactics. and
Basically,
stuff.
how to
But-
defend themselves.
Yeah, but I mean, my heart goes out to the dude, man, because these people are all alone out there, and everybody is like, "Oh, you're such idiots." These people are literally being abducted and having their their face torn off by these aliens, and,
Right.
and everybody's making a joke about it. It wouldn't be a joke if that was your uncle that got abducted by these monsters.
So obviously, the villagers are being traumatized by this stuff. I mean, could you imagine living out there and nowhere to go? These people have nowhere to go.
Yeah,
Their whole. We're not talking about somebody moving to a place. We're talking multi-generational lives
Yeah.
of their families in this location, right? And they're always on the edge of violence with these things, and it's just it's a wild thing. And of course, mainstream media came in and said, nope, this isn't a real thing. And basically, these guys are just out there hanging at this point. So, I mean, we pulled up a bunch of information about this stuff, but a lot of it is just repeating itself.
Yeah.
And I'm looking here, they're thinking, could drones or UAVs, disguise with cloth, or could it be, just to frighten the villagers or whatever?
Somebody said that on one of our socials too. Like, could it be somebody put like a doll like on a drone and was flying it around?
But you'd still hear it. It'd still make noise.
Drones are loud. If you ever flown one around trying to record something, all the audio that comes out of the drone is trash. Because all you hear is those little propellers on it. So people would know right away if they heard a drone flying around.
And of course, we always say that the AI is always against us, so it never gives us the stuff that we really want. We want to show you guys the craziness, that's going on out there, and of course, the AI wants to feed us the cover-up.
Give you the narrative, right? So
it doesn't want to give us the information. It doesn't want to tell you the
good, juicy stuff.
But now, one thing that they did do that Bob has even mentioned before is some of the pictures that we have, you can't find them. We downloaded them 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You can't even find them on the internet anymore.
Yeah.
They have scrubbed the internet of any kind of evidence of this alien attack. If it was such a big hoax, why'd they get rid of the video?
Yeah, why would they scrub all that from the internet? Why would they take that
all away?
In our video, I showed the pictures, and they were kind of, I had to do the, what do you call it, the fuzzy box thing?
Yeah.
Because they're pulling the dude out of the river with no face. Right? You know what I mean? So I couldn't show that on the podcast.
You know what? Unfortunately, those are probably on the destroyed hard drive.
Yeah, they are on that one.
We had a hard drive fail, so literally a year's worth of our videos are gone.
And all that.
And all the evidence that we had, all the videos that Bob used to add in is all gone on this hard drive over here.
Yeah.
What a shame. Still sitting right there. I don't think Bob wants to get rid of it.
Military grade transcend hard drive, right? Yeah, good luck with that.
So,
it don't work.
I mean, everything that we got talks about the media narrative and sensationalism.
Right.
And, unified claims to basically send this underground.
I would tell you, watch our video first, because we were the first ones on it. And then go to Timothy Alberino's channel and watch his first video about it. And between the two of us, we pretty much nailed down this story. The facts that we stated in both of our videos have not changed.
No.
So that's a good starting place for this story. And then all the sensationalism is the media trying to obfuscate what actually happened, right? So don't buy into that nonsense at all, because I mean that obviously a person that has any kind of intelligence knows the difference between a dude riding, a $750,000 jetpack versus a guy standing on two discs that don't make any noise.
Right. And then, the thing is, have the villagers made new evidence? Well, even if they have,
I haven't seen it.
It goes away.
Right. And it's
as quickly as it comes out, it goes away.
Google has already tuned their algorithm so that as soon as they make a post, it's dumps
gone.
It.
Yep.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, you can't find anything new out there.
Mm-mm.
So, and like Bob said, go check out the other video, because there's actual interviews with the villagers and all that kind of stuff. And, definitely go down that rabbit hole. It's a heck of a story.
He went down there and talked to him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's my hat's off to that dude.
Go check it out. It's one heck of a story. You guys know how we like to roll. We don't want to tell you what to think. We like to tell you about things and then let you guys go.
Exactly.
Come up with your own conclusions.
Make your own conclusions.
So you know how we roll.
Right.
But we don't trust the government. Not right here. We don't trust the government.
Or the news.
So, the news.
Currently, the government and the news are like two sides of the same coin.
It's amazing how once that one certain government agency got shut down, suddenly all these news places are running out of money.
Yeah, right.
Oddly convenient. But we don't discuss politics here very often, so we'll keep that to ourselves.
We don't like the government
I don't like the government. That still reminds me of the day we talked about unimpentium.
Yeah.
And literally, Bob, we were sitting here talking about, this experimental element and blah, blah, that UFOs use as a power source. Bob said unimpentium, and the audio
cut
went
out.
Just gone.
Yep.
Just the audio of our whole, literally right after Bob said the word, the audio of our podcast just dropped. It's like,
it never did that before,
odd.
and it never
has since.
And we talked about it since then, but that first time that we mentioned it.
Because at that time, it was still not a big thing, and now they brought it out and called it a different element, which is what?
Moscovium.
Moscovium.
Yeah.
So now it's got a different name, and the government recognizes it as a different element. So it was just really, really convenient. Right. I mean, that literally the second after Bob said unimpentium,
the audio just
dropped out, gone, and that was the end of the podcast. Bob put in a little disclaimer at the end of that podcast.
Unfortunately, the audio dropped out.
Yep. So it has been 2 years.
2 years.
We've been doing this. It's actually 2 years and 3 days because our first one was actually October 1st. We started doing these on Sundays. We were doing them kind of Sunday mid-morning-ish. Yeah. And then we thought, you know what, let's do these Saturday night. We'll get more people.
Bring the live in.
Come hang out with us. So, but here we are 2 years later, still going at it. Got new chairs.
Yeah, we're comfy.
We're gonna move up to some new microphones and stuff, and then once Bob gets the house finished over there,
we'll have a legit studio.
Oh, excuse me. We have plans. I bought at one point off of Temu a crud load of acoustic foam. I got a massive deal. I got like 90 square feet for like $20, which it's almost $1 a foot now.
Right.
And I got like 90 square feet for $20 or something like that. So we have a huge thing of foam. And what we're going to do is we're going to cover the ceiling in the new studio in acoustic foam. And then I'm thinking, that'll take up most of the foam. So if we go to Harbor Freight and get moving blankets and just put them around the walls, that'll cut down any echo.
I found acoustic wall panels that look like bricks.
Oh, it works too.
And it looks like a brick wall.
That's fine. We'll do that too. Don't matter to me. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, whatever's cheaper, whatever's going to work.
I think it'll look cooler though.
You won't be able to see it because it'll be around the sides.
The brick wall, and then have the bookcase.
Yeah. Well, I thought we were going to do like a double bookcase, so it covered all the way behind us.
It'll be the whole wall.
Yeah.
It'll be bookcases.
So, but then we'll have that, and
I may have a little fireplace too.
New studio. Yeah, a little fake fireplace between us. That'd be hilarious. So, thank you for joining us, guys, on our 2-year anniversary podcast.
Yeah, how about that?
Who'd have thunk we'd have been here, 2 years.
2 years.
14,000 subscribers.
Some awesome chairs.
Some brand new awesome chairs. They're only 2 weeks old to us. And and the girl that sold us the chairs, she actually, the day I was there, she subscribed to the podcast.
Yeah.
And she messaged on the last video because we talked about the chairs. She said, "I'm glad we could give you guys such a good deal,
Yeah.
and we're glad that they got a good home." So
how about that?
So I didn't see it. Bob brought it to my attention today.
That's awesome.
So that's really cool. So don't forget, guys, if you have an idea for a podcast or you have a story you want to tell us, we could turn it into a podcast. If you got a great ghost story that happened to you, get as detailed as you possibly can. We'll go through it. We'll talk about it. Turn it into a whole podcast itself. Our little competition's over, but we're always up for a good story. Anything, paranormal, cryptid, UFO, get as detailed as you can, because the more details you give us, the more we could talk about it.
Right. The more we can expand on it.
So,
but last week's episode, my coworker Amy suggested that the earthquake cabbie people taking ghosts around town. That was her suggestion. So there you go. See, we'll make a video about it.
We'll make a podcast.
Yeah.
Bob and I, we see a lot. Yeah. We see a lot of things, and we go, "Ooh, Bob, this is an idea." And then Bob will go, "Hey, what about this?" And so we do come up with a lot of ideas, but we've been doing this 2 years. You know, you got to figure we've come up with 100 ideas.
Oh yeah.
At this point.
Oh, people say it all the time. Well, you should make a video about this, and I'm like, oh, that was like a year ago.
Yeah. So I mean,
yeah, people tell me that all the time. Did you believe we live in the Matrix? Like, bro, I got a whole video about living in the Matrix.
I was telling somebody about that theory that I came up with last week about ghosts are
the overwritten parts.
Yeah, that are overwritten parts of the Matrix.
Yeah.
So that's a wild theory.
I'll tell you a theory that someone brought up to me, and it kind of gave me a chill, was that if you remember in the Matrix, when you were stuck in the Matrix, how did you get out of the Matrix?
Well, somebody had to pull you out.
You had to go to a payphone and call.
That's why they took all the payphones out.
There's no more payphones around, so now they've got us trapped in the Matrix, man.
The little towns,
right?
People are getting out of the Matrix in some little town in Idaho.
A gas station like 30 miles away to find a payphone so that you can get out of the Matrix.
That's crazy. That's a good thought. I like that. I like that a lot.
I was like, once the movie came out and it told everybody how
they started pulling all the payphones.
If you remember in the Matrix, they had cell phones, right? Because that's how Morpheus contacted Neo the first time. Was he FedExed him a cell phone so that he could talk to him, and then he's like, "You got to get out of the Matrix."
And it wasn't just payphones; it was hard lines. Right. Any kind of hard line.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody has a hard line in their house anymore. Like nobody. Like you ain't getting out of the Matrix.
The machines, the cat was out of the bag when the Matrix movie came out. So now the machine has been removing all of the payphone, all of the landlines from our simulation, so that way we can't escape anymore.
Wow, that's a good one. That is a really good one.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. No.
You have to call AT&T, be like, hey, can you put a landline back in my house just in case I need to get out of here?
Right.
I'm going to eat porridge on the ship with Neo just to get out of the Matrix.
That's wild. So, coming back out of the rabbit hole.
Reel it back. Like
Angie likes to say.
Yeah.
So coming back out of the rabbit hole, if you have something you want to send us a story, send it to the Real Veritas Project at gmail.com.
Yep.
That is a direct line to Bob. Don't forget our partnership with Dubby. Bob's got his Dubby right here. We don't want to forget about that. That is good stuff. I actually introduced somebody to Dubby today, and they were like, "Man, that's good."
It is good.
So I enjoy it. I've been drinking the Japanese soda every day.
See, I told you I love that one.
I love that one. It's good. And the camera's getting dark again, so we're gonna have to keep going and cut it short. So don't forget, find us on Discord, Real Veritas Project. Or the Veritas Project, excuse me, on Discord. Don't forget to become a Patreon member, the 0 level. We put you on that card at the back of the video. Put your name on there, you tell us what you want. And then we also have, at the $5 level, we will send you a postcard every month. And a little note from us. Well, a little note from Angie. We can't write with a crud. Bob and I just sign them.
Yep.
Someday when we're famous, you'll be like, look what I got.
Right.
And they'll be like, oh, that's a Bob original.
We're a blue check mark now.
Yep.
We got that going
we are
for
legit. So there we go. Don't forget, if you guys want merch, go to Printly.
No,
Printify.
Yeah.
Because it's Shipley. I always get that backwards. It's the opposite of Shipley, so it's Printify.
Yep.
Go to Printify. Look up the Veritas Project, and you can find all kinds of cool stuff on there. Let's see. Don't forget to check out Bob and myself on all the other social medias. Bob is RS Curtis 73 on a lot of things, and the Veritas Project.
Go over to the Instagram and see our
new blue check mark.
There
you go. There you go. If you want to check out some of my older stuff, I haven't messed with the socials in a while, but I have some good stuff that's a little bit older on there. Investigator Todd on all the socials. I had something else and I derailed my train of thought. Doggone it. But dang, what was I going to say, man? ADHD brained right on out of it. Oh well, yeah. Go to Instagram, check out the new checkmark. Oh, I remember what I was going to say, and I forget to say this all the time. Don't forget Monday mornings TikTok. For you guys watching on TikTok, or you guys that want to follow us on TikTok, follow the Veritas Project or on TikTok, or Investigator Todd on TikTok. And Bob goes live at 9 a.m. on Mondays, Central Time, and he will be editing the video, and I'll jump in there, and we always kind of rehash. It's kind of like You know, like the movie, the extras where they go
Yeah.
back and talk to the actors about the movie and whatnot,
Right.
and the director. So you get kind of a second revisit, and we think of things that we forgot to say the first
Yeah.
time.
So we'll say it. You know,
So-
like, oh yeah, I also thought about this. Blah blah blah. What we're
Right.
saying that.
So it's a double dose of awesomeness.
Yeah.
You know, to come in and check that out. Also, guys, you know, we looked. 97% of you who watch us don't even subscribe.
Yeah.
97%.
It don't cost nothing.
It don't cost nothing. Just subscribe. Hit that notification bell.
Right.
You know, share us out. Please comment. I mean, if you're a regular that watch us every week, just comment. Just say hi. I don't even care if you jump in there and say firsties. Just
Right.
throw a comment in there. But usually Bob's the first one to comment,
Yeah.
honestly, because he asks the question usually every week.
Pin the comments in there. Yeah.
So, you know, come in, you know, hit
We
the
do all the
notification
work.
bell, all that stuff.
yeah.
We'll answer you. We both look at the comments most of the time. I usually look at them the first couple of days, so that's why I missed the comment about the chairs. But, you know, get on there, you know, follow us everywhere.
Yeah.
And I guess that's all we got. So remember, guys,
Stay curious.
and find the truth, and we'll catch everybody next time. Bye, everybody.
See ya.